loud for that," Elias snapped. "It's time for our family, enjoying a good day of rest, and that water sure does look inviting." "Mother, is it all right?" Fay asked, taking her mother's hand. Libby glanced at Elias and then back to her 12-year-old daughter. "Yes," she said, "it will be fine." "We'll stick to the crossings," Elias said. "No need to add another worry to your mind, Libby." She nodded, then climbed back into the wagon. Elias was too excited to sit and so eager to reach the river that he simply grabbed the lead horse and began to pull it ahead, urging the team to move faster. He wore a slouch hat, once black, but now stained white with alkali, salt, and powdery dust. A faded blue bandana was loosely wrapped around his sunburned neck. Elias was only 5 years older than Libby, but everyone they met thought he looked more like a father than a husband. Libby didn't mind. Elias seemed old because he had worked so long and hard on their farm, supporting his family. But things would surely be much easier after they reached California. And despite his annoying habits and stubborn ways, Libby felt blessed, because Elias was a faithful husband, kind father, and devout Christian. Never mind that he was a poor farmer and had failed at raising crops. His frequent back troubles pained him often, and besides, their Indiana farm was now almost 2,000 miles behind them, while California beckoned less than 500 miles to the west. Libby squared her shoulders. Nothing could be worse than the Salt Lake Desert, and now, with the Humboldt to follow, they would conquer this Nevada desert and then make the final assault on the Sierra Nevadas. Yes, Libby thought. California was so close now that she could almost smell pines and wildflowers. It was said that crops grew so fast in the California sun that a farmer had to be careful that fast-growing spring wheat did not spear his legs. "How soon can we see the California mountains?" Matthew asked as he plodded alongside his father. "Soon. Maybe a week. Maybe even less." Libby held her tongue, but wondered at her husband's remark, because everyone had told them the Nevada crossing was still 300 miles away. And, given their rate of travel, that would take them at least 20 days if they were lucky. The horses stayed strong, and they had no wagon troubles. But Elias was feeling good. "Son," he said, "we're going to make it now for sure. We've already suffered the worst of this journey, and now there is just this Humboldt River to follow the mountains, then over 'em to California, where even poor folks live like royalty." Libby wished her husband would not say things like that. Yes, she also believed things would be far easier in California, but not that easy. Life, even in California, was always hard. The weak, the lazy, or the infirm never prospered. "Mother, will we be able to get another cow like Emily?" her daughter asked. "Yes," Libby said. "We'll get a cow." 10 cows, Elias shouted up at them. "We'll have a whole herd of them." "Elias, please." "Well," he said, throwing back his head and his eyes dancing, "it's true. No more penny pinching for the Pike family." Libby's lips pulled tight, and she stared ahead, bonnet pulled low for protection. Tall, brunette, and once considered especially pretty, Libby now felt old, tired, and dry as the sand. And although it was October, the temperature was still suffocatingly hot, and so arid that Libby's skin was as tough as boot leather. She had given up attempting to stay clean because the dust blew constantly, and most of it was alkali and salty enough to get into skin creases and burn like nettles. She had grown to hate the desert. As far as her hazel-brown eyes could track the Humboldt River, Libby could not find even one of the water-loving cottonwood trees which had flourished along the gentle Platte River. The only movement to be seen in this awful Nevada landscape were the graceful dust devils, willowy, solitary dancers swaying to the music of the wind as they waltzed around and around. "We'll make camp early," Elias informed his family. "Maybe rest the horses all day tomorrow